undrafted free agents. Jalen Reagor, a guy trying to resurrect his career, hoping to make the roster at wide receiver, is deep to return the opening kickoff. One final time for the Dolphin players to show what they can do, and it's tonight against the Atlanta Falcons. And Reagor will get a chance from his own 5-yard line on the opening kickoff. Flag already comes in on the far side. Reagor across the 30 to the 31, but right off the bat, we get a penalty.
These guys that are looking for those last spots on the roster.
Slowly, he is back, and this is his NFL debut. He's got the size, the speed, the hands. The Dolphins are very high on the rookie, getting his first action, and Miller looking that way. There's Bell at the 30 with his first grab. He's got good hands, Bo, and he's a hard guy to get to the ground. Very intriguing player for the Dolphins.
Made a remarkable recovery. I didn't think they expected him to be at this point.
First-round pick without the injury. That was during the college season last year with Louisville. Then got hurt, and the Dolphins snagged him in the third, one of 3 rookie wide receivers that they drafted. Nothing doing on the ground with Washington Jr. there. That'll be a loss of about 4 yards.
Yeah, it's a little, got the collapsed on that side. Penetration, you got the ones, their ones against our 2s, and those 2s are going to have to find a way to hold up. And they haven't played against guys like this through training camp, other than practice. In the real deal here, it's they got to kind of stand tall.
2 of the rookies, Coleman Jr. and Bell, split out to the left on 3rd and 8 for Cam Miller in at quarterback. Both Malik Willis and Quinn Ewers will not play tonight. Here's Miller. They bring pressure. He scrambles free. He's got all kinds of room. And Miller scoots out of bounds for the first down, but there is a flag in the backfield on the quarterback scramble.
To have poise and be able to stay in your zone and get the job done. And quite frankly, right now he's not doing it very well.
Miller scrambles again under heavy pressure and just has to unload it. Falcons brought the heat.
You're a 2 and a 3, and you hold up in a game like this against their 1s, really going to give you a leg up for trying to make a roster spot.
3rd-round pick, Zacharias Branch, back to return. And he's met at the 39-yard line. Tight end Jeremiah Franklin in there, along with Cameron Good for the Dolphins. And here comes Tua Tagovailoa to the booze at Hard Rock Stadium.
Opportunity. I think it's good for him to be in a different place.
He has not been able to secure the #1 job in Atlanta with Michael Penix Jr. out. He came back this week, had 3 practices at 11-11. And Tua's first pass is complete. John Dotson, the veteran, is taken down by the rookie out of Texas, Michael Taft, for the Dolphins. Tagovailoa spent 6 years here in Miami. First down at midfield for the Falcons. They go on the ground here, and the Dolphins meet Robinson well. There's Robert Beal Jr., who you spoke about in the game open, and there's
down a little bit, and so that hurt him. And then the next year, he kind of kept. He never had his body the same in either one of those years, and never kind of could get the first down to get there and be able to make it. And something that would help him greatly here.
Dolphins showing some people coming at Tagovailoa. 6 up on the line. And they bring pressure. He unloads quickly. He's got Pitts outside. He's got the first down and more. Pitts is down the sideline to the 20. And Ethan Bonner finally makes the tackle at the 10-yard line.
Well, you stack every teams, whether it was running plays, they couldn't. They always got to the perimeter, right? Bounced out, got to the perimeters because everyone's just squeezing them inside.
Gain of 37 on the ground again. That's Brian Robinson, his 3rd year out of Alabama. And he bangs forward to the 5-yard line. Tyrell Dotson, one of those veterans in the lineup for this game. There's a look at Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, Dotson alone. I think he's the lone starter in the game there. And they're just trying to get him some work.
Yeah, all the safeties are playing. We'll see how that shakes out as far as starters are concerned. Taff and Anderson in there now.
Yep.
Robinson up the middle. Got a couple of yards. Jackson Woodard in there has had a solid camp, number 42. He's a culture guy, all ball, trying to find his way on the roster.
Timeout for virtual measurement.
So this is, so first down. Goal to go at the 3. Robinson remains in at running back. Tagovailoa, play action. Here comes some heat. He rolls. Beal's chasing him. And Tagovailoa's got to throw it away. So there's Robert Beal Jr.
Yep.
making an impact again here in this first quarter on this first drive.
You know, they got to find more. You look at some of these teams, they got 4 or 5 really good pass rushers. You know, maybe less.
Now Robinson pulls his way into the end zone. So the Falcons take it down the field on the opening drive and get the touchdown on the ground. Second running back for the Falcons. Now the veteran Folk for the extra point. And the 19-year veterans got it.
They just got like little dings and nothing that's going to keep players out. But look, since you got another week, you got a week off next week. Then you go out to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. So you might as well get those guys healed up. So like, what's the point of playing guys a couple series here and chancing another injury instead of being healthy when you're ready for game one? I think it's a pretty good decision.
Rager with the Dolphins. Remember, Quinn Ewers had been banged up a bit. Didn't play last week against the Giants. So him and Malik Willis not playing tonight. Miller, play action. He's got time. To the sideline, Tolbert climbs the ladder and makes the catch at the 48-yard line. No, Jalen Tolbert from Miller. And that's good for 19 yards.
Had good protection. Had
brought in as a free agent from Dallas. Makes a good catch there. Miller this time. Hauled down in the backfield. Cameron Thomas. Starting defensive end got him.
Yeah, he had nowhere to step up. You know, he's certainly trying to make the team, Cam, obviously, and it's tough being behind this line when you're playing against the first team on the other side. You know, but the coaches know how to evaluate those situations.
Miller has to run up the middle and slides down quickly at the 48, back to the original line of scrimmage. And you know, he's a guy, he likes to sling it out there. I mean, you know, on that play, Bo, the first one, he allowed Tolbert, hey, give the guy an opportunity, let him go up and make the catch. Kevin Coleman Jr. had that great catch last week against the Giants.
Yeah, he talked about last week. Talked about after the game. He talked about last week what his experience. He was happy with what he did, and he, you know, and I think he played fairly well. You know, with what he had to do. But he just wants to play and get better and better. Look, he may not be here, but there's a good chance if he puts something on tape, maybe somewhere.
Drafted last year by the Raiders. Good throw over the middle. There's Chris Bell to the 31-yard line. A pickup of 18 for number 18. The rookie out of Louisville makes the recovery from knee surgery in his NFL debut. He's got 2 grabs already.
Yeah, that's one of those receivers that's going to get a lot of opportunity during the season. Keep those 3 rookie receivers in there. Let them get seasoned for this year and make their mistakes. Find out how to.
3 yards. And yeah, you know, Caleb Douglas made a terrific catch the opening week at wide receiver. You know, in Washington, we had Coleman Jr. with the catch last week. So, you know, by no means are they ready to anoint these guys as Jeff free agents. And John Jalen Rager, a guy trying to resurrect his career. Always say when they're talking about the receiver is deep. We haven't played a game yet. We haven't played a real game yet. Let's see what happens. But it looks promising for this rookie class. I mean, Sullivan really likes what this rookie class has done in training camp. 13 draft picks for the Dolphins this year. Here's Miller rolling out, flips it out there, and that's incomplete. It was intended for Rager. Throw was low.
You know, we see that play before. We saw DJ Herman in there.
Trey is in, another rookie, 5th rounder at tight end. 3rd and 7 for Miller. Throws over the middle. Ooh, and at the 20, a big hit and incomplete. It was intended for Chris Bell, and he's a little stung by that hit. Incomplete.
It was a good throw. I'll tell you, he just read passes before. Tuck the ball in whenever you catch it.
Now, good to see Bell out there and getting some throws his way. 3 targets, 2 catches. 46 yards. Patterson splits the uprights. So the Dolphins respond to the Falcons. Good looking drive. Chris Bell, a couple of catches in his Dolphins debut. Caleb Douglas, one of the other rookies, not playing in this game tonight. And this one will, boy, flutter out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Mike McCarthy now in Pittsburgh after Mike Tomlin's long run is over. How about that? Two-thirds of the coaches in the league hired over the last few years. Tua Tagovailoa fumbles the snap. It's loose and Willie Gay jumps on it. The Dolphins have the football off the Tagovailoa fumble. In any event, Cam Miller gets another opportunity off the turnover. Washington Jr. in motion. Miller throwing, sideline for Chris Bell. Nearly made the catch, but it's incomplete. Boy, they are giving the rookie a workout here in the first draft pick. Bell in his debut. 2 catches for 22 yards. Miller on second. Tolbert out in the flat. So the Dolphins moving the football, in this passing game more effective than they did a week ago for sure.
I think they're throwing a little more quick passes, trying to get it out there and look, but yet they've had the opportunity for Miller to throw it down the field, get in the pocket when he was protected. Then he was, it broke down a couple times, but I think they're doing a pretty good job of mixing the short, quick passes in with taking that opportunity to throw it down the field when it presents itself.
Now 3rd and 6, you wonder if it's 2-down territory. We'll see. There's Bell on the field again. They move him over to the right side, and now we got a little mix-up. And the Dolphins have to take a timeout. Said recently, said, you know what? I don't want to be friends with these guys. Yep. I'm not friends with. In fact, the same even goes for the staff. I have a job to do.
Yep.
And daily, I got to look people in the eye and tell them the truth. I mean,
Yep.
Jeff Hafley is a straight shooter. The players respect him. And John Eric Sullivan, the GM, thrilled with the way Hafley has run the training camp. 3rd down. Miller throws. And that is nearly intercepted. It was in a double coverage. Both Hughes and Helms were there for Atlanta defensively. It was intended for Bell again. Now it's 4th down. The Dolphins will try a long field goal.
Getting back to Hafley, I kind of a culture that we've had.
Well, this field goal is blocked. He was going for a 56-yarder. And the Falcons interior there, Chris Williams was in on it. Zach Harrison as well. One of them got a field goal. Atlanta starts at the 46. Change the play at the line. And he'll throw with play action. Over the middle, complete to Robinson, the running back. Sheds 1 tackler and gets near the 1st down marker. Jabo is in there on the stop. Woodard as well. So the Dolphins have Kyle Lewis now in the game. There's another draft pick out of Pittsburgh, Bo. Linebacker, but he's a hybrid guy, and right now he's in at safety. Dolphins are going to use him everywhere. Yeah,
I mean, they're going to use him at linebacker. He's kind of battling with Ronnie Harrison Jr. in there, and the more things you can do, especially in a team like this. But he's been, he's certainly been in the coach's eyes.
Real interesting guy, one of 3 linebackers drafted by the Dolphins. Over the middle, Pitts loses 1 tackler and dances to the 30 before he's run out of bounds. So Pitts with his 2nd catch of the game, and healthy gain for the Falcons. 16 yards there.
Jackson Woodard.
They put Jahan Dotson in motion. They throw to him, a flag right there on that side. Juju Brents wrestled him out of bounds.
When they brought him in, they expected a lot more than what they've seen out of there, and he's in the belly. It's just really, you look at those linebackers, outside linebackers. Chop's really the only guy that's Uche is little pretty good in there, but everyone else is just a catch can of those guys.
Well, there's a pre-snap penalty. There was a lot of movement there, and this one is against the Falcons.
I'll start.
Falcons still have most of their first team in there.
They do. They did on defense as well. Wellen stays in there along with Ajabo. Tagovailoa throws complete to Dotson, who falls down right at the 1st down marker, touched by Bonner. But that'll give him a new set of downs.
I get a little hiccup with that catching that ball out of the snap.
First down inside the 20. Robinson up the middle, across the 15. He's hit solidly, and the fumble. Llewellyn got in there, and Woodard comes up with the football. 2nd fumble in the 1st quarter. Here's Dante Trader, stuck the helmet in. First. Miller looking deep, slings it out there. Incomplete. Rager tried to make the adjustment, but just couldn't get back to make the catch. Second and 10.
He was not afraid to throw that ball downfield now.
Gotta let it fly. Washington Jr. gets free. The former Atlanta Falcons spent the last couple of years with the Falcons and a pickup of 6 yards.
Good blocking on the left side.
12 are now healthy. You think all 12 are on the roster Sunday night?
I do.
On 3rd and 4. Miller dives for it. Took a big hit there, trying to make the play. Not a helmet full of dirt. Back up on his feet. End of the first quarter at Hard Rock Stadium on his last one. This one sends Drummond back to the 24-yard line. And he is hammered down. Good work on special teams by the Dolphins. Down to the sideline, Mike Cunha with the veteran, Zach Sealer.
Fortunate to have come back already and just kind of get going on them again has been incredible. I'm excited to kind of keep building this and take these next couple of weeks and really focus in on what we need to improve on and really kind of hit the ground running.
Before training camp started, you and I talked about that youth on the D-line, how you're really starting to see those guys come along. And Jordan,
within a game or within a practice, hey, they're hitting us with this, okay, we can run this or do this, and making those adjustments and not taking a day or two to kind of understand that picture.
You ready for week one?
What's that?
You ready for week one?
I can't wait, man. I'm ready.
Zach, thanks so much. Best of luck this season. Thank you, sir. Guys, back up to you.
Mike, thanks so much. Zach Sealer, just a class guy. By the way, Tua Tagovailoa's night is over. Cooper Rush, the veteran quarterback, is now in here in the second quarter. And Bo, when you look at that Dolphins, really the whole front seven, you know, in these games, you know, Chop Robinson's had a very good training camp, really hasn't played much. Brooks has been out. Sealer, Biggers hasn't played. Kenneth Grant's been out. So it'll be interesting to see with Jeff Hafley how many healthy bodies. Most of them likely, I guess, will be ready for the Raiders and see what he unleashes.
Well, I think that's the point of not playing them this game, is to give them that extra week. You know, you don't have a game next week. You can monitor your practicing the way you want to, and you want to have. He wants to get to the starting line with everybody healthy on both sides of the ball and just get moving. You know, so. But you know, you talk about that defensive line. We talked to Jordan Phillips, and you know, they talk about the camaraderie. They talk about working with each other, how they're starting to mold with each other, playing with them over these last couple of years now, and just kind of getting knowing what your guy next to you likes to do, what you like to do, to get that communication, and they become a very, very close group. Going to their houses for, I think Zach gets them out to dinner every week, and so it's going to be exciting to see that front over the course of this season.
Coleman Jr., the rookie,
big guys.
Back to return, he'll just let it go, and that'll be a touchback. I believe that ball bounced in the end. Yeah, Falcons acted like it did. So, 12 and a half to go in the first. Little old school I formation with the quarterback under center. There's the pitch, but pre-snap penalty. These are the ones Jeff Hafley wants to get out of this football team.
False start.
Andrew Myers pretty solid that he's going to be in there. Preview will probably be in there. Charlie Heck, you know, he's kind of on the borderline. So this is a big night for those guys. And a little mistake could cost you a roster spot.
Miller is hauled down by Robinson, former Florida State Seminole. Really, you know, the positive tonight was seeing Chris Bell out there for the Dolphins. His night might be done. He's on the sideline now without his helmet on. For the rookie to get back in there, a lot of people thought he may not play well into the regular season, maybe most of this season, but here he is in the final preseason game, the third-round draft pick out of Louisville. Washington Jr. is upended across the 20.
Well, they didn't waste any time getting him looks, right?
That's for sure. 5
get him
targets.
Out there, get 5.
Yeah, and at the draft, some of the so-called draft experts were saying this might even be just, you know, like a redshirt year. So great to see the big man getting in there. Miller is under pressure, gets free, buys some time, still looking. The spin, and then he's hammered out of bounds. That ball popped loose out of bounds. Yeah, Miller trying to do all he could. Chris Williams, who blocked the field goal earlier, was there. So on 4th down now, Pinion standing back at his own 2-yard line to punt. There's a look at the rookie Bell. One of the other rookies, Caleb Douglas, next to him, suited up, did not play in this game tonight. He gets it off. Drummond on the punt return, trying to turn the corner, and a pretty good return before he's pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line. 7-3 Falcons in the second. Going pretty hard here for a guy that maybe wouldn't be back till the regular season. So really great for him to get in on this action in the final preseason game.
Well, you know, it makes a point. I mean, I've had knee injuries, I have knee surgery, and you know, you really got to have confidence in your knee. You got to really have confidence that it's back to where you want to be. Anything that's less. And so, just what, like he said, you know, I feel like it's comfortable. It's going to be comfortable for me if I can play, and so let it go, let it rip. And you know, you can see he's not playing easy. He's not trying to protect anything. He just went out and played the way you need to play, and it's nice to see.
13 overall draft picks for the Dolphins. You know, it's changed, but about 25 first-year players, rookies, in camp. About half the players on this team on one-year deals. And as we break down the draft here,
so you can get camaraderie, you can get, you know, people that know what you're playing, the guys you're playing next to. So they've got a plan, and it's a pretty good plan using, you know, just let's develop our guys, keep our guys as long as we can, and probably the most as long as you're going to keep these days, maybe 5 years. But I think that's their plan.
let me ask you this. What do you make of the veterans on this team? So all these young players, not only do you have to have veteran talent, you got to have the right kind of people around these young players.
Yeah, but you've talked to these guys. I mean, every time, whatever you bring in the defensive group, the defensive line, the linebacker, they all talk about how close they are. And you know, and the longer you're together on a team that has that closeness, it just cements that the ability to play. And you're not only playing for yourself, you're playing for the guy you're standing next to. And so that's a culture change on this football team, and it comes by the leaders. Jordan Brooks, you know, Zach Sealer, all those guys. Malik Willis, even though this is his first year. All of those groups have their guy that's trying to create that feeling that we're a brotherhood and keep it there together as long as they can.
On fourth down, Rush throws the completion to the 31-yard line. That's good to a first down for Blair. On that play before, you saw the replay. Dante Traders had himself a nice game tonight. Came up, shed that double team to make the tackle to force the fourth.
And they're going to have to, you know, to figure out what it is. And maybe 2 or 3 of those guys that are here now, there may be some other people in those jerseys.
Trader in his second year, you know, he's going to be one of the safeties. Rush looking. And a couple of Dolphins there. Cam Rice, one of them on the tackle. Willie Gay as well. No gain on the play for Atlanta. So Dolphins getting a little deeper into the roster, although Gay and Dodson still in there. You know, they just don't have that many healthy linebackers. You know, with Harrison out and Brooks out as well. Rodriguez, the rookie, out tonight.
Quite frankly, Willie Gay's working for a job. I mean, he's a borderline guy there. I mean, he's a great guy. He's a great team guy, but you know, he's got to prove that he can make plays. He's already got a fumble here today. 2nd and 10. Rush pressure, gets rid of it, and that is caught. It's Blair again. Dolphins had some pressure there from the outside. Seth Coleman-Lyles, I think, around
in camp. He's in a battle with an undrafted free agent we'll probably see in the second half, Jack Strand. Rush throws, complete underneath to Goodson, the running back. Lonnie Johnson Jr. on the tackle. Put in the work, was with the Lions last year as an undrafted free agent. There's a look at Cooper. He's got himself a chance. And there's some movement. Can do. We're less than 48 hours away from the NFL cutdown to the 53. Falcons have a 2nd and 5. Rush throws it out in the flat. That's complete inside the 10 and run out of bounds to the 6 by Trader and John.
Max Llewellyn just kind of got too flat, and was able to bounce outside and get some time to throw the ball.
Jeff Hafley and Kevin Stefanski had a long conversation out at midfield before the game. Atlanta's 10th play of the drive. Goodson pushes the pile up the middle, gets to the 3-yard line.
Chance for some of those defensive tackles try to make a statement here. I think there's about 3 or 4 jobs available on that defensive front.
Cooper and Butler inside on the D-line now for the Dolphins. Rush throws, that's incomplete. It's off the hands of Drummond, the wide receiver. On that quick pass. On 3rd and goal for Atlanta. Rush over the middle, touchdown, Falcons. Little 3-yard pitch and catch. And Belling the tight end. And the Falcons able to extend the lead. And Folks got the extra point to make it 14-3 Atlanta with 3:28
to create problems for the quarterback in situations when you want to get a little sophisticated.
I think the guy that may be the key to the whole thing is Chop Robinson. If he can be an every down player and set the edge, that sets it all up. Here's Rager with the return to the 40. Midfield. Jalen Rager with a big-time kickoff.
See a guy make a play like that.
Nice to see the special teams overall come up with a play. So great field position for Miller, who throws over the middle, complete. Marshall Jr.'s got it inside the 35.
Nice timing.
Marshall Jr. drive by the Falcons. Traore's gone all the way at tight end, the rookie for the Dolphins here in the first half. The pitch, Washington Jr. gets banged down at the 31-yard line. He picked up a couple. Wonder with Ollie Gordon and Jalen Wright, presumably anyway, 2 and 3 behind Achane at running back, but they were a little nicked up, not playing tonight.
Yeah, there's probably one spot left. That's it in that running back room, because those guys, those are the big 3, and everyone else is fighting for that last spot. So anything you can do tonight certainly is going to be helpful for you.
We roll it down to the 2-minute warning. Devon Achane's having a little bit of fun there on the sideline, sitting it out tonight. He'll be ready in 2 weeks in Vegas.
This is the 2-minute warning. Timeout.
Have gone the entire first half. The 2 tackle positions left and right for the Dolphins. Miller throws. Tolbert back in the game. Run out of bounds at the 27-yard line, so they pick up 4 yards. Tolbert's got a few grabs tonight. Here comes Traore, the tight end, split out. Miller looking that way. He's got the rookie at the 20, but then he lost it. Incomplete pass. So Traore unable to hold on. Henderson with the hit. Traore, a 5th-round draft pick. And this one gets through. So Patterson to kick. 2 backup running backs, Robinson and Goodson, deep for Atlanta. Dolphins took 5 plays and 22 yards after the big kickoff return by Jalen Rager to get the 3 on the board. It's Goodson. Across the 30, and the laundry comes flying in from the backside, so this will be coming back. Cameron Good, one of those there for the Dolphins on the special.
I feel pretty good about that.
Woodard and Dotson, and linebacker for the Dolphins. Here's Rush to throw. Drummond reaches out and makes the catch. Woodard on the tackle. They picked up 5.
A chance to see this 2-minute defense, see what you can do.
They got 2 timeouts left, Atlanta. Rush steps up. Looking. Throws sideline, incomplete, off the hands of Belling, who caught the touchdown.
Seven guys down in the front.
Yeah, Woodard's right there in the middle of the line. See if he comes along with Dotson. And they're all coming. Rush unloads, incomplete. So they dialed up the blitz there. Dolphins side really had a good camp. Jake Bailey, the former Dolphins punter, sends Rager to the sideline. Dances one man and out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Pretty quick. You know, he's kind of, he's like a hand in the glove right now. I mean, he looks like he's been out there for a long time. He doesn't get rattled. You know, he's just got the injury situation he's dealing with right now.
Just the Lombardi, the Nagurski, they won the Big 12 for the first time, and he was a huge part of it. Nose for the football. Miller pressure again, has to throw it, and incomplete, and they got another big hit there in on Cam Miller.
Been seamless for him.
And again, you talk about the veterans with those young players. No one better than Jordan Brooks to be there. Theo East Jr. across the 30, but not enough for the first down.
Yeah, if there's a guy that came into camp, and I think, look, these rookies, they're expecting a lot out of these rookies, not only this year, but down the road, next year, year after.
Well, that punt fluttered out of bounds from Pinion. We'll see where they. So the Falcons get good field position at the 35. Cooper Rush still in a quarterback over the middle, and the catch is made. Looked for a moment like the Dolphins may have a shot at that with Dotson. On Jack Strand. Wait till you see the size of this guy at quarterback, perhaps in the second half. Big stick by Dotson on Belling, short of the first down. Stephen Dix Jr., presumably, who had the interesting story last week. Never even knew the Dolphins defense and played the whole second half calling. Little pitch and catch there. Chris Blair on the catch for the Falcons. They have no timeouts left. Trying to hurry it up with a new set of downs, and now flags come in. Did you really say, hi, my name is Jeff? And that's what he said. Had to introduce myself to my new player. The trials and tribulations in the preseason, but hey, Dix Jr. did a good job. Dolphins defense did a good job considerably in the second half. Down the sideline, complete to Goodson to the 20, and Gay makes the tackle at the 16-yard line. Falcons hurrying up. They've got to get to the line with 5 seconds.
Just shaking his head. He had a big opportunity there to just touch the guy.
Little muff there on the return. And hammered down at the 20-yard line. That was Ethan Connor making a tackle for the Dolphins. He's opened some eyes during training camp. This guy's 6'5", 240 pounds. Undrafted free agent. Flag comes in as they keep it on the ground. This one may be coming back. And interestingly enough, Bo, I had never heard of the school. I'm not sure if you have. Minnesota. He just said, hey, I owe it to him. I stuck around.
And he gave me a chance, right?
Throws over the middle, and that's a completion. Keelan Marion makes the catch. A local name, played for the University of Miami last year. All 16 games for the Canes. Was big on the kick return.
So, you know, these games, these last preseason games, it's always interesting. It's the dynamics on the sidelines in these games where you've got the guys that have earned their spots. You know, they're the starters, and you know they're not dressed, and you know we saw earlier, you know, the guys are dancing around, you know, having fun, looking up in the stands, waving at their girlfriends and their wives, and just enjoying the day, you know, knowing that you know, they don't have to do anything, and they can just kind of have fun, knowing that next week or in 2 weeks they're going to strap it up, and it's going to be, you know, live bullets at that point. And then you've got the other side of it, the guys that are sitting there hoping to get in the game, and knowing that if they don't get, you know, the longer it goes, and the less that they're not getting put in the game, they start kind of like seeing the writing on the wall, right? And just knowing that, hey, this may be the last time I play, you know, wear a football uniform, and they're just sitting there just waiting and hoping, and it's you know, I've been in both ends. My last year, I knew I knew like midway through the third quarter of the game that was my last game. It was my career's over. That's my last game, and you just sit there for a while. And for me, I was able to reflect on everything that I'd done and the games I played and stuff like that. But these guys that are rookies out here, maybe second-year guys that have gone to their second training camp and getting cut again, it's a very, very uncomfortable feeling in that situation.
Now, good for Matthew Butler. He's able to get himself a sack. Sideline was fired up by that. Rager looking for another chance, won't get it here. This ball sails out of bounds. So the Dolphins defense gets the hold. Mark Gronowski will take over at Quinn State. He won a couple of FCS titles against Cam Miller. So Washington Jr., who's gone all the way at running back so far, gets the call. Still got DJ Campbell, who's had a pretty good game tonight on that offensive line. A guard for the Dolphins. He's still in the game. Reed slides over to center.
They got Marquise Cox in there, Gottlieb Badaye, and Kevin Klein, all trying to get their opportunities out there.
Rager had the big kickoff return. Led to one of the 2 Dolphin field goals. In at receiver with Marshall Jr. Gronowski a chance to throw. Chased. And throws it away.
Cut downs, and now it's just this is a wholesale cut down, and boy, the traffic, the telephone lines are going to be burning across the country.
Oh, Gronowski got a wallop. He throws downfield, and it's complete. A terrific catch by Marshall Jr. Gronowski took a big hit. And the second catch of the game for Marshall Jr.
He heaved that thing to be able to get the football.
So the Dolphins into Atlanta territory. Gronowski again has time, looking, throwing. Tolbert's got it inside the 25. Flags come in. Dolphins will decline that. Season with the Cowboys.
We'll keep 6 wide receivers.
Well, those may be your 2 then with those other 4, perhaps.
Exactly, yeah.
That's just us playing fantasy general manager. So first down to the 23. Washington Jr. gets through the line inside the 20 and pushes to the 16-yard line. Good gain on first down for the former Falcon.
Nice little drive here. Through all the mini camps and everything, and then gets let go, and comes back a week after that, and back at it again, trying to make a spot for him.
Washington Jr. towards the first down marker. May just be a little bit short.
This offensive line's doing a pretty good job right here.
And I'll tell you what, this situation for those linemen, I mean, this is huge.
Yes, yeah.
For these guys, it matters a lot.
Yeah, well, again, too, it's not only for here. It's like we talked about earlier. Getting things on tape. Other teams that see the tapes and they may need somebody, and they like what you put on the tape, and there's opportunities elsewhere. A lot of opportunities around the league at this time of the season.
Gronowski trying to hurry up and get things set up. He does. And on 3rd and 1, Washington Jr. stood up at the line. Does fall forward right at the end. Not sure if he got there.
I don't think so.
Tui Pilatu made the tackle, and it's 4th down. You got to figure this is a go.
I would think so.
Now the entire Dolphins bench just got up on 4th down. Yeah, they're all up. They're all on their feet coming over to check this out. It was kind of interesting. It was in unison. Washington Jr. at running back. Herman in front of him. They've got it. And Washington Jr. inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. They convert on 4th and 1.
All offensive linemen that aren't in the game waving towels at them. They're liking to see this.
Opportunity. 1st and goal for the Dolphins. Again, it's Washington Jr. behind Herman, the fullback. Off the left side, cuts it back. just short. Hauled down at the 1.
Yeah, Herman had a nice little kick out block, give him some space.
Little power football here. They're at the 1. Rager and Marshall Jr. The receivers. Running again, and nothing doing. Penetration in the backfield, and Josh Woods on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Nowhere to go.
They go 3 wide on 3rd and goal. Back at the 3. Gronowski looks, throws. Reese Jr. in and out of his hands and incomplete. Marshall and Henning out to the left. They've got Franklin, the tight end, split all the way to the bottom of the screen on the right side. And we've got flags. And this is going to be on the Dolphins.
Yep.
False 2nd and goal at the 1. But they got pushed back for a few reasons. Patterson nails the field goal, his 3rd of the night. 6:20 to Junior getting the workout. 12 carries, 32 yards for him. Tolbert's got 3 catches tonight for 27. They've been active. And the Falcons will start at the 30-yard line. Some flags come in. Marshall Jr., Miles Battle with the tackle for the Dolphins.
Right?
Well, when you factor in with the numbers, Bo, I mean, call it what it is. They've had numerous drops during this preseason. So you got to take the numbers with a grain of salt. Carter now in a running back for Atlanta. Down the depth chart they go in the backfield. Major Burns along with Jaheim Thomas in on the tackle. Thomas and Burns both out of the UFL. Thomas was on the championship team. Played 12 games for Louisville.
How'd you like that Louisville team?
You like that Louisville team?
How'd you like that Louisville team?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Major Burns led the league in interceptions. Did you know that?
I did not.
I thought you did.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Let's get an opportunity here. Carter, a yard short of the 1st down. Jaheim Thomas recently picked up linebacker for the Dolphins.
I tell you, it's this midpoint in the 3rd quarter, or late in the 3rd quarter. These guys aren't slowing down on the hits. You can hear the cracking. You can hear that Brad's cracking from up here. They're trying to give it everything they can got, just everything they can get, just to cling on to a job.
Yeah, Carter was shaken up, so he goes to the sideline. So now Cash Jones, the rookie out of Georgia, comes in the game. The big quarterback Strand tries to sneak. Dolphins think they stopped him, and they did. It's 4th down. Cam Rice down there at the bottom of the pile. A little pat on the helmet from the head coach, Jeff Hafley. So the Dolphins will get it back.
You know, it's interesting watching Jeff Hafley in practices. You know, he's the head coach, but you know he's a defensive coordinator at heart, defensive-minded coach at heart, and even sometimes when he's overwatching the receivers or the offensive line, it's always kind of looking over his shoulder back to the defensive side, where the defensive guys are out there. Crazy. And
that's not surprising.
And he looks over, and the punter has got the oxygen mask on.
Is this in the Orange Bowl?
The Orange Bowl.
A home game.
And so he's, he lets him know about it going in. And after he comes off the field after the punter, he says.
Preseason opener had that terrific 14-play drive, 93 yards to open the preseason. And that was it. Gronowski to throw. Sideline complete. Slung it out there for Rager. So Rager and Tolbert showing some things tonight here at the wide receiver position.
Good job by Rager coming back to the ball. I mean,
Rager for 17 yards. Familiar name in South Florida. In at running back, Coleman Bennett, son of Donnell Bennett, former Hurricane national champion. He's on that undefeated team in 1991. Dolphins just picked up Bennett, the 24-year-old. Played for the Conference USA champions last year. Kennesaw State actually scored a touchdown here in Miami against FIU last year. So was with the Bears in training camp. And he gets an opportunity here in the second half of this final preseason game at a Cardinal Gibbons High School. Gronowski on second down is going to tuck it and go, and he can do this well. Smartly gets the first down and slides down.
Good job.
Yeah, he had some rushing touchdowns last year with Iowa. After those years in the FCS, got the 1 year.
Well, he looks really composed.
Bennett still in at running back. Gronowski's going to throw again. Dancing in the pocket has a wide open Herman. It's off his hands and incomplete.
Oh, that hurts.
He can't believe it. Here's Bennett. Met at the 41-yard line, falls forward. Got one on the play. And he'll bring up third down.
You talk about the intensity down the field. That's what these coaches are looking for. The guys that no matter what's going on, just keep going, keep pushing, fighting as hard as they can. Physical, yet under control.
Yeah, and top to bottom, you know, coaches, the Dolphins have liked the intensity that they have had day in, day out at training camp as they're trying to really establish that culture and that physicality being job one. High snap, Gronowski pulls it down and runs and breaks a tackle. He's got the first down and more to the 25-yard line. Martin Gronowski fired up.
You know, Goldie, we've been out there watching these practices quite a bit this season, and even when they're not to have all these guys playing with, and it's caught on. It caught on pretty quickly.
Former Dolphin Channing Tindall, the linebacker, made the tackle that time. Now it's Coleman Bennett for a yard, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. So second straight time, quarterback Mark Gronowski has the Dolphins on the move. We go to the final quarter of the 2026 preseason next.
What was going through your mind as you made it through your first training camp as an NFL player?
You know, I was feeling good. I really wasn't even thinking about it until Dante Turner came up to me and he was like, "Hey, camp one done." And I'm like, "Let anybody through." You know, Pat's doing his thing. He's been growing tremendously, and he's one of the best leaders that I've been around too, and one of the best teammates that I've been around too. So I'm blessed to be playing next to him and Brew and everybody that's on the offensive line. I feel like we got something special brewing up.
Now that you're an NFL player.
Vegas in a couple of weeks.
Between Brewer, Patrick Paul, and Proctor, 975 pounds worth of football player out there.
Oh boy, Aaron play there and a loose ball. And let's see who came up with it. Falcons do have it. So another drive led by Gronowski goes inside.
But evidently, so he didn't pull the blue 10 over it, so obviously he's going to be all right.
So Falcons take over again. Another drive for the Dolphins inside the 10. They got a field goal last time. You know, it was interesting because between the quarters and the timeout, the two guys that dropped footballs, both Theo East Jr. and DJ Herman, Jeff Hafley went out on the field, found both of them, patted them both on the helmet, little word of encouragement. Hafley is just, you know, he's a teacher at heart, and he's not going to be one of those guys that goes crazy and screams and yells when something negative happens.
They're learning moments for him. They're teaching moments for him. It's for the kids, for the players to learn. And look, and he's not afraid to look, if it's egregious, he's not afraid to get in their face. I mean, we talked about that a little bit with him. He says, look, if I got to get tough on them, I'll get tough on them. And like you said earlier, he says, I'm not their friends. I'm not here to be their friends. I'm here to put a football team on the field that's going to win football games, be disciplined, be tough, and play good football. And whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. And so I think he's got a real good. I think he's got a real good sense about him, and the way to handle it, because he's been around football his whole life. His dad was a coach, and you know he got into it very early. And I just like what both he and Sullivan have put together as far as the way they want to build this football team.
Well, John Eric Sullivan says, you know, Jeff Hafley not only has met but surpassed his expectations during training camp. You know, Sullivan, the GM, started as an intern in scouting with Green Bay in 2003. And, you know, in 2004, Sullivan's father, Jerry Sullivan, coached in the league for more than 40 years. Great
he was
coach.
A wide receiver coach here
with the Dolphins. And, you know, we talked to Sullivan, said, what's the one takeaway? And he said his dad always said, you win with people. You got to have the talent and all that, but you win with the right kind of people. And that's what it's about for the Dolphins now. You know, the wins this season perhaps will not always show up on the scoreboard. They won't, but it's about establishing the standard, and that's what they're trying to do with 11:20 to go in the GM and coach 16-yard line. Bennett still in it, running back, pitch right. Tries to cut it back and find a hole. Flags come in from the secondary. It's a loss of about 3 yards on the play.
Got to be a hold.
And he comes over from that winning culture.
Yep. You know, but this is a very unusual year for any general manager in this situation. So you talked about it being a transition year. You know, they cleared out all this cap space, and you got all this dead money, and you got 40-some-odd guys on minimum wage contracts, one-year contracts, and you're just trying to get. You're trying to get the youth, trying to get the most out of your draft choices you can, and the two draft choices, the two draft picks that you've had, the last 2 years of the draft picks that are still here, getting them involved. But you know, and he talked about the emphasis being on daily competition and teaching, and you know, I know fans don't like to hear this, but you know what they're going to measure this team on is competition, growth, rather than just wins. I mean, you know, of course they want to win. Of course, technique, fundamentals, and always playing hard physical football. I think we're going to see it come across sooner than later.
Yeah, Sullivan calls it, hey, we got to take our medicine. I mean, they got about $180 million out to players not on the team. Henning with a nice move. A.J. Henning bursting free across the 40 and run out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Using the speed. Pickup of 31 yards.
That's some explosive plays from out of this game, all the way around.
He's had a good game here in the second half. So they're out towards midfield. Gronowski looking to crank it up. He's going deep. He's got Rager. Incomplete. Just couldn't hook it up. He had a couple of steps on the. Bennett. Run out of bounds at midfield. He got 3. Now, is that one of those where the adjustment from college, maybe you have the speed to get outside in college, but not here?
Yeah. Yeah, but if you get a guy that's, you know, and you can see that he's like, you know, striding out and he's off balance, if you turn into him, sometimes you just pop it and knock him down and just keep running down the field.
Yeah, Bennett's got some size. Yeah. Gronowski on the move. He's tucking it again. He'll get to the line of scrimmage. Get out of bounds. Boy, he's gutting it out. I mean, that was an awkward twist and hit that he took last possession.
You can tell when he slowed down that going towards the bench is kind of, you know, I think his knees are feeling a little bit tender right now, as you would expect.
So 4th down, and they'll have to punt. End over end, fair catch of the 15. That's where the Falcons will take it over with 7.
And guys, down here on the field, you can see him bounce around. He talks to pretty much everybody on the roster throughout these games. It's the one big thing we've noticed here throughout the 3 preseason games. Malik Willis chats it up with just about everybody on the team, guys.
Yeah, and Mike, you know, teammates, right to coaches, they all love him. Great human being, and all about team. And, you know, look, he's only played 22 games in his career with 6 starts over the 4 years. So he's another guy that's going to get better as time goes on, and it was with conviction when John Eric Sullivan got the job. Jeff Hafley is head coach. Let's bring Malik Willis with us from Green Bay and make him the starter.
Well, you know, they had him for 2 years, right, at Green Bay. And so if anybody knows Malik Willis better in this league, they're not around. I mean, they know what he's like in the locker room. They know what he's like in the huddle. They know what he's, you know, way, you know, pushy and anything, but you feel a confidence that he has within him, and it's palpable.
Be interesting to see when it goes for real, you know, in a couple of weeks, because you know, there hasn't been all of the plays that are in there with him using his legs. I mean, he's a tremendous athlete. The ball comes out quickly, and I'll be curious to see how it materializes when the regular season starts.
Well, we maybe saw him one time during a game.
Yeah,
maybe saw
first drive.
Maybe saw him one time in the scrimmage they had down here. So him running the football, we really haven't seen that aspect of his team, of his game. But that's a big accent. That's a big part of his game. The ability to have the opportunity to run, but also pull up and throw it down the field. So,
intercepted.
There you go.
Tip ball, and Miles Battle comes up with the pick. It bounced around there, and Battle has it. Well, how about
Battle
that?
pulling that ball out of there. Those guys are trying to.
If we're tied, we're tied. That's been for a few years now. So first down at the 19. Gronowski. Gained a yard. With the Falcons getting the pressure.
A little fearless in that pocket, running out, right?
No question.
Stands in there, and then sees the last second. Let me get some yards.
He's gotten quite a workout tonight.
Kind of got worked over, too, a little bit.
Yep. Hanging tough, though. Yep. 5:25 to go. No gain officially on the play. Washington Jr. is back in now at running back. Here he is. And maybe a couple. That's it. Falcons got some good penetration in there on the backfield. Led by Devonta Maxwell. There's the man, Devon Achane, off that great year last year. Got, along with Willis, the first drive of the preseason. 7 carries, 39 yards? Enough for him.
Yep.
Of course, they had 2 joint practices as well, so the starters got work there.
Yeah. You know, the first 2 years he came here, he was a pretty quiet guy. You know, you had Tyreek, you had Waddle, you had all those guys, and Tua, and they were kind of the guys. And he just kind of quietly did his job well. Wasn't flamboyant, but just kept making plays. And last year, but now all of a sudden, since all those guys have gone, you can see that he knows that he's got to now become a more outgoing personality, someone that's kind of that's talking to all the players, and I think he enjoys that moment. Look, he certainly has the ability to speak on because of what he's done. His production over the last couple of years puts him in the top 10 in the National Football League, and so he's taking that platform and he's using it very well to help benefit this football team and bring, like everybody else that we've talked about, like Brooks and the teams play.
Way earlier this evening, Tua Tagovailoa started this game in his return to South Florida. Remains to be seen if he'll start for the Falcons in a couple of weeks when they get going. Dolphins open the season in Las Vegas. First home game on September 27th against the Chiefs. And a big return here. There's Marion, who had a great season last year in this stadium for the Miami Heat. Inches a little bit closer. 6 o'clock on Sunday night. Everyone's got to be at 53. Dolphin staff, Yeah, you know, the Steelers played the Bills last night.
Yep.
The Steelers made some cuts earlier tonight, so they're already working all this out and projecting. And hey, the bottom line is, you know, if there's players out there the Dolphins feel are better than who they have, there'll be moves made.
Certainly, you got to believe that the Dolphins are going to be one of the more active teams in picking up and picking up players. And like, if you find a guy that's just 2 steps better than one guy you've got, and, you know, they're not going to go ahead and make that move.
So closing it on 3 minutes to go. They've got movement on the right side of that lane. Jack Strand in at quarterback, gets the snap, dances around in the pocket, and slides down. Got a couple of yards. Now it's 3rd down. There's Steven Dix Jr. had that story last week when he met the coach for the first time the morning of the game against the Giants last Saturday. Here's Strand throwing, has an open man, that's complete, and that is a 1st down for the Falcons to Wells, the wide receiver. Lewis Moore on the tackle along with Dix Jr. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Falcons get a new set of downs and keep possession, leading in the 4th. That's a good question.
When that big wedding they had?
Yeah, partying it up. Oh, big tackle there. Major Burns gets into the backfield. Dolphins will use their timeouts. They'll try to get the football back here. Home opener, and then it's already October.
Yep.
Loss of 1 on the play. Strand is going to roll out here. Has an open man to the 30, a yard short of the 1st down. That tight end, the rookie, Velling, who caught the touchdown in the 1st half. And Georgia in at running back next to him on 3rd and 3. Strand keeps it himself, and the big man rumbles for the 1st down. So they give it to the rookie to carry himself. I'm going to say Penix. They're going to go with Penix to start. Because I think if they like Tua enough for what he's done, Penix has been out up until 3-4 days ago. It would have been locked up already. But good chance they both play this year. Both of them have injury history.
I would agree with that.
So Kevin Stefanski, 1st-year head coach in Atlanta.
And look, you know how it is in this league. I mean, you know, quarterbacks get, it's just, majority of these teams.
Now has his training camp.
The last game like this, and not playing your starters, you're not excited about it. But I thought the players that played, I thought they held up pretty well. Look, they had mistakes and they had missed tackles and some things. That's going to happen. But I think overall,